Hey there, welcome back to Julie's Wreath Boutique, and I'm so glad you're here. So we're going to go back to the oldies but goodies. This is a Deco mesh wreath that I'm going to show you how to make with a couple of different techniques, and it's really easy to do. So originally I was going with a peacock thing, but you know what? I'm not so sure that this really gives off peacock vibes. So let's get started and make a beautiful wreath together. So I grabbed all of these from the Wreath shop, and I was really inspired by the middle two pieces of this mesh, the blues, and I thought I was going for a peacock vibe, and I'm not sure that I got that, but that's okay. I should have probably used a little bit more greener greens. So we're going to cut our mesh at 10 inches each, and we're going to cut all four colors, and you're going to cut about 3/4 of the roll. All right, you may need less, but you might need more, so keep that in mind. Mesh can be very temperamental. Now we're using our wood burner, and we're using a glass cutting board that already has measurements on it. So these are 10-inch wide rolls, and we're cutting them at 10 inches a piece. Then I'm going to grab a 10-inch wreath frame, and you can't see it. It's a little hard to see, but there's a plastic canvas on my surface table, and we're going to draw a circle on the innermost side of the wreath frame. We're going to cut that out, and then we're going to take some zip ties, and we are going to put this on our wreath. Now, this makes it easier, and what I like about these types of wreath frames is it has a little bit of dimension. So your wreath's not going to be flat. If you like a flat wreath, that's fine, but I like a little bit of dimension, and this wreath definitely has dimension, okay? So we are going to use that middle surface that we just did. Now you can get all these supplies over at the Wreath shop, and everything is great quality there. So we're going to do the basic petal single fold, okay? You've seen me do this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a clip, I call this my chip clip that I get at Dollar Tree, and we're going to make a second one. So I wanted to use two of the colors together on the first go around of this wreath frame, because Deco mesh can be a little bit thin, and so we're going to work on bar 2 of this wreath. And you can see I started it on the cross bracket, but at the end here I end up moving that over, so I don't know that I would put it on the cross brackets because that really kind of limits where you can put things. So I went with a pattern of the navy blue, the gold, the next one was like a gold and turquoise, or no, it was like a not gold and turquoise and blue mesh, and then a purple mesh. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to keep doing the same thing over and over, but by doing this, it kind of like really enhances the saturation of the color of this wreath, okay? So that's why we do it this way. And we're going to put the two single folds together side by side, and we're going to put it on one zip tie so that you're not doing twice the work, right? And you can make these little loops with your zip ties first, just so that it makes it a little bit easier. As you can see, I'm doing it right there. And now I'm going to add the purple. Again, single fold, clip it, and then make another single fold petal, and then you're just going to put them together side by side, and it's going to be really nice. So we're going to do this all the way around our wreath, and you're going to basically do about 20 sets of these, I think it is, or maybe it's 15, I'm not sure, but whatever works for you, you need to do, okay? Sometimes people don't need as much, and it depends on the mesh you get. The mesh that you get from the Wreath shop and Trendy Tree, Wreaths of Joy, all of that mesh is really good quality mesh, okay? So it's got a lot of structure to it. So we're just going to keep doing this, going around the wreath frame. Again, I make sure you get to see it all. And as you see this, can you see the saturation of colors? So it was at this point that I saw that I needed a little bit more space. So I'm taking the original navy blue off of that bracket, and we're putting it on the inside of the bracket. Remember when I said that at the beginning of the video? That's okay. We all make mistakes, and you know what? You get to learn from mine. So from this point forward, don't put your pieces of mesh on those brackets because it kind of keeps you from being able to move it. All right. So now we have our first layer, and you know what? This is so pretty when it comes together. It just is. And you're not going to believe what we use for the center of this wreath. All right. It's amazing. And again, you can get it at the Wreath shop. So make sure you check it out in the description box below. And I don't know, guys, what is this giving you? Is this giving you peacock vibes? Is it giving you Mardi Gras vibes, or what? I mean, I'm not really sure. So the second part of this wreath, we are going to start adding our zip ties in the center of that wreath where the plastic canvas is, and the middle, the center ring in the middle. Okay, so it's actually going on the plastic canvas but coming up underneath that middle ring. Now, here's what we're going to do. That doesn't even make sense, Julie. Now we're going to do single colors, all right? And we're going to combine them. I showed you this technique years ago on my YouTube channel, and every once in a while I use it again. So we're going to combine these. We're going to kind of call this the crisscross single fold, okay? So you're going to start with your color that you want. That's your dominant color. You're going to take your second color and you're going to place it over top of each other. See, I need that dominant color to the left and the secondary color to the right. And then we're just going to put them onto our wreath. Now here's the basic concept. You want to make sure that you cover the zip ties on the first row. So one of the other things you could do is you could get maybe like black zip ties, and they might not show as much. That's probably was one of the things I should have done here. But as you can see, we're taking two pieces and you're going to lay them crisscross across each other, and then you're going to fold them like the single fold, and then you're going to put it on your wreath. It does take a little bit of getting used to, but you can do this. A bigger center, you don't have to put a third row, but I got to put a third row because my center is just not big enough. So I will put my zip tie in there, and we're going to do the same concept. Here is my first color, and I'm going to put a little, clothespin on it, take my second color, put it over the top, crisscross, and then bring it together. I am going to tell you this is going to get tight because you're trying to get all this mesh in, right? So just know that it might take you a little bit of muscle to get it all inside of this wreath frame, but I do believe we used about 7 to 8 of these in the middle. So you're going to see here in a moment how tight it actually gets. But I just think it turned out really pretty. I haven't made a wreath like this in a really long time. And just to be honest, guys, I give my wreaths away in my email list. And if you're not on my email list, get on it. All right. So how you can do that is you check out the description box below and you click on the link, and then you sign up for my email. Now, I have not given a lot of these away in the past few months because honestly, I saved them up for the widows and widowers of my church, and they have a banquet every year for them, and I like to save some wreaths for them. So that's one of the reasons why you haven't seen a giveaway. We did have one at the beginning of February, but that's why we haven't. But guys, I've got wreaths that I need to give away because I can't keep them all. All right, and I don't sell them anymore because I do YouTube and I teach people how to do social media with their creative businesses in Julie's Biz Boutique, so I don't have to take orders anymore. So if you are somebody who sells wreaths and you're frustrated with social media and you're frustrated with how to work social media to your advantage for your business, again, you need to go to julieswreathboutique.com. You need to find Julie's Biz Boutique right there, and you guys can sign up and join that group. It is a monthly subscription group, but I teach you everything you need to know to run your creative business online. It's a really valuable group and amazing people are in it. And we do weekly training, so I hope you will take me up on that. But we're getting to the end here. We're almost done with the middle, but as you can see, I'm getting really close, and I'm having to bully this mesh around. You got to tell it how it is, right? And as I go through this, I'm going to just kind of bring that mesh up to make sure that it's really being showcased beautifully. Here's what I know about flower wreaths. At this point, you have to be very patient, and you can get this done. Now, I think that this is a good flower wreath recipe for any time of year, whether it be, this one is kind of wintry. If you wanted a more Mardi Gras. Oh my goodness. See how I'm pushing my mesh in there? I'm making it work. If you wanted more of a Mardi Gras theme, maybe more, you would take out the blue and use more of the green. I'm going to show you a Mardi Gras element that you could have put in the middle of this wreath. Okay, so just hold on. The wreath shop sells them, and I think you're going to like how we put this together. So, you know what that is? That is a foam ornament. And here's the Mardi Gras foam ornament. So tell me what you think. I think the Mardi Gras one is really pretty inside. But this is what we're going to do. We're going to cut this in half. We're going to cut off the little ornament hanger. And then I'm going to get a sharp knife and we're going to cut it in half. And you know what? You can use this on 2 wreaths, not just one. So this like $3 ornament that you can go get and order it off of the wreath shop, you can just cut it in half and it makes a great flower center. Okay, we did this a few years ago with more of a leopard, or what is the other print? I can't think of the name. The leopard or a tiger, I don't know, but it was a more of a feel like that. And then you're going to take a long piece of wire, you're going to put it over top. I take my floral pens here. I always have floral pens on hand. And I'm going to press them down into that foam because the foam is deep. I'm going to take my a scrap of felt. You always need some felt on hand. We're going to cut a piece of felt here in a moment. And then we're going to get our glue gun out and we're going to start putting glue on the felt and where we put in the pens in the center. Then you're going to put the felt over top and add a few stick pens, like sewing needle pens with little bulbs on them. And that is going to sit, and we're going to let that set up. And while we do that, we're going to put a backing on this wreath. So what we're going to do is take a 10-inch wreath form. I'm going to take some felt. I didn't have any really good color felt to put on the back of this, so I'm using this neutral color. And you're just going to draw a circle with your wreath form, and then you're just going to cut it out. And we're going to save that for the end of this project. But guys, if you made it through this whole video, would you leave me a purple heart down in the comments? I also want to know, what colors would you love to do with Deco mesh for this wreath? If you guys been following me for a while, you know Deco mesh is not my favorite. I'm a poly girl. I'm a poly burlap girl all the way. So doing a wreath with Deco mesh is not my favorite. So now that we got our glue to set up on our wreath center, we're going to find a spot to go through that canvas mesh. And sometimes it can be a little difficult, but we get it in there, and then we're going to flip it over and we're going to twist it really good. And we're going to cut the ends and then poke the remaining wire back into that grid, and it won't hurt your door. Then we're going to get this piece of felt that we trimmed out. You're going to take some sharp scissors, poke some holes in it, and then you're going to just use zip ties to attach it to your wreath form. Now, the reason why I don't use glue to attach this is because we're going to just use that wreath form to actually hang our wreath, okay? So you're going to attach these, and then you're going to clip them, and then you're going to push that zip tie underneath of that felt here in a moment. But if you love crafting, make sure you're subscribed here to Julie's Wreath Boutique. If you love crafting, make sure you get on my email list. It's down below. Again, we may give this wreath away too soon. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Love teaching you guys new ways to think about crafting, and we have some great crafts lined up for you and ready to go into spring. I cannot wait till spring of 2025 hits us. So right here is where I'm turning those little zip ties underneath, And this is the finished product. So at this point, I kind of hold on to that center and I just go through and I rearrange any of the mesh that kind of wanted to go a different direction, right? So you don't want to pull too hard because you don't want to pull them out, but you do want to go through and just kind of straighten up your wreath. Now, if you want to protect this wreath even more, you can get some Rust-Oleum clear matte acrylic spray that it has UV protectant, and you can spray this and it will do beautifully. But this is the finished product. Remember, leave me a purple heart in the comments if you watch till the end. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed to Julie's Wreath Boutique, make sure you click on that button. Now, here's the thing. Leave me a purple heart if you watch through the whole tutorial and let me know what colors you would do in this wreath. And I hope you enjoyed this week's video. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.